Hello, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. And yes, again, Charlie's my wonderful assistant, so you'll hear me every slide saying, putting the word in next, which will give the clue for Charlie to move the screen. So on to our first screen. So here we are with our new livery. So we're celebrating our 80th birthday this year. Air Canada turned 80, and with that in mind, we've actually gone out with a whole new livery inspired by Canada, a whole new look and colour scheme. We've got about 350 aircraft to get through, so we've actually started already. We had an aircraft last week come into Brisbane with the new livery look. But as you can see there, we're flying the flag as we put it with the maple leaf all over the aircraft with the white colours and the black as well. So that's coming out throughout this year. All our aircraft will be with the new livery and new look and design. On the next screen, you'll see actually our crew, our frontline staff, they're actually getting all new uniforms this year as well. So a whole refresh and keeping them modern and designed for them by Christopher Bates, who's a famous Canadian designer. So they're all very happy with a whole new look. And on the next screen, you'll see again the design of the aircraft delivery for our 80th birthday, celebrating out. And with that in mind, on the next screen, you'll see the hangar photo here, which is taken about 2 months ago, and we unveiled the new look and livery and uniforms all simultaneously across Canada. It was done through Toronto Airport, Montreal and Vancouver one morning. We flew the aircraft in that was freshly painted, and they were actually designed with all the Star Alliance livery, so the media couldn't get a look at what the actual design was. So it was all kept very hush-hush, quiet, and the next morning we invited all the media and our high-frequent flyers along to a big unveiling and pulled back the curtains, and simultaneously across Canada we'll be able to show our new look, and out came all the crew with their new look and livery and uniforms as well. So with that in mind, our big expansion, we're now flying to 200 destinations on 6 continents. So since 2009, Air Canada has grown internationally 50% with the help of all our new Dreamliner aircraft. They're getting us through to Canada and onwards. So looking at the next slide, I just want to point out, if you look at underneath the aircraft, we've got the maple leaf there as well. So it's a great new image that we're putting out, making sure that we're flying that flag across, because we're also celebrating Canada's 150th birthday this year. On 1 July, big celebrations are taking place, but all throughout the year, celebrating 150 years of Canada coming together as a nation. So lots to celebrate, and with our new livery, you'll hope to see it soon in both Sydney, Brisbane, and of course, the news coming up soon on Melbourne. So next slide, if you look here, I've got all the frontline crew. We've got gate agents, engineering, right through to our crew with all their new look and uniforms. So we'll go to the next slide, which is 2017, what's new and what's happening. Of course, as I just mentioned, we're celebrating our 80th with the Canada 150th birthday celebrations. 2 weeks ago, we announced the Melbourne-Vancouver service. So that's a seasonal service on the Dreamliner aircraft starting on the 3rd of December. It'll be starting for 4 days a week and flying through to the 4th of February. So 4 times a week, just over that 2-month period. That's bringing Melbourne too close together for the ski season. So it'll be on the Dreamliner aircraft. Of course, passengers can start booking on that. It's now available in your GDS. So bringing Victoria and Canada closer together. If it does well, and we've got agents there from Melbourne on the line today, please sell us, please go for it, because we can turn that into a regular daily service if we get the support behind it. So that's fantastic news there. I'll touch on the Sydney 777, because again, we fly the 777 out of Sydney, being the larger aircraft, and the Dreamliners we have both out of Brisbane and Melbourne. In 2017, we've signed a strategic agreement with Virgin Australia, which is our code-share partnership and frequent flyer redemptions, which is being rolled out throughout the year. From 1 June, you'll start seeing in your GDS as of now, you can see the code-sharing flights with Air Canada and Virgin. That means within Australia, you'll actually see Air Canada flight numbers on the Virgin domestic aircraft. So coming, say, from Adelaide or Perth, across to Sydney or Brisbane, there'll be an Air Canada flight number on those Virgin flights. And again, the same from LA up into Canada on Virgin arrivals into Canada on our aircraft as well. And throughout the year, later on, we'll be joining the Velocity program as well. And some great news there with Air Canada and Virgin Australia becoming strategic partners. I'll touch on our Wi-Fi satellite, information on that coming up. And as you can see there in Skytrax, we're only rated 4-star carrier in North America, and Skytrax last night just came out with their world rankings of airlines, and we were ranked as #1 airline in North America by Skytrax. You'll probably hear a lot about that today, especially in the Travel Daily. So that's giving you an update for 2017. Let's go on to our next slide and have a look. You can see a great picture there of Vancouver. So again, we offer 14 flights a week, daily non-stop, straight through to Canada. Of course, the Sydney service is Sydney, Vancouver, Toronto on the 777. The Brisbane service is Brisbane, Vancouver, and continues on to New York as well. Both flights from Sydney and Brisbane depart approximately the same time, just before lunchtime. Both arrive at 7:30 a.m., same day departure into Vancouver for all your connections onto Canada. There are 64 destinations, and if you're looking at North America, we also continue on the US at 57 destinations. Of course, our key hubs, of course, Vancouver, we've got Montreal, Toronto, and Calgary. 14 hours flight time, straight across, and fantastic then-on connection through to Vancouver. So looking at our next slide, again, connecting through to Canada. Some great news there. There's an update. If Vancouver you're not familiar, of course, it's all under one roof, easy to arrive in, and now we have the new procedure of no need to check or re-pick up your bags to your next Air Canada flight. Both Sydney and Brisbane airports will check your passengers right through to their final destinations with their boarding passes. Bags will go right through to their final destination. For instance, if they're going to Calgary, they land in Vancouver, they'll go through Canadian immigration, reboard, go upstairs and board their flight to Calgary. When they land, they'll actually have their bags there ready from Calgary. So we're the only airline in North America can guarantee the bags to the final destination. It automatically checks right through. That saves your passenger having to go to the bag drop or wait around the baggage carousels. It's such an easy process and make it nice and easy. With your immigration to the USA, all your pre-clearance is done in Vancouver, and of course all Canadian cities have that facility. Otherwise, they go through Canadian customs upstairs, again, all under one roof. So it's hassle-free, easy connections through Vancouver. So we go to the next slide, and we can have a look at there, some images of the past and the present. So when we started as an airline, and had some pictures there back in 1953, to our new look and celebrating 80 years in 2017. So let's go to the next slide, and Charlie, go to the next one as well, and we'll have a look at a great image there of our business cabin, which is a herringbone style design, 1, 2, and 1, with everyone facing forward, direct aisle access. So everyone can step straight out into the aisle. The Dreamliner out of Brisbane will have 20 seats, and the Sydney aircraft, the 777, has 40. That's why it's a larger aircraft available. Next slide, we'll see actually the screen, which is the largest in North America, lots of storage space, UBS PowerPoints, all available. Fantastic for privacy enabled in your business suite there. The next one is the night slide. Just have a look at the back of the photo. You see again, you see the maple leaf. So we've put the maple leaf throughout the aircraft, and again, as you've seen in the new livery, we're flying it all over the aircraft as well. And next slide will show you, of course, they get all the your doonas and your pillows, amenities kits, all available. And next slide will show you putting it down in the full flat bed. That's when the passengers can do that, all easily done. And the next slide will go back into the actual full design of the bed and someone having a good sleep across the Pacific. So we'll jump again. Now let's go to the next slide, and we'll have a look at our Premium Economy cabin, which is our new product. Premium Economy is just behind business class in a row of 3. It's designed out 2, 3, and 2 on the Dreamliner, and it's 2, 4, 2 on the 777. And next slide has got actually all the features there. So if you look up the top, you've got your classes, NEO. They're the classes that are available in your GDS. It's a dedicated cabin, of course, 38 inches of legroom. We have premium meals, extra baggage allowance, priority check-in, wider seats, pre-departure drink, and a hot towel service as well. So all these enhancements are available for the Premium Economy. Again, for your passengers, if they're doing any touring, fantastic to add into their packaging. If you're looking at any of the big scenic APT or Globus Cosmos packages, it's all available through your winter early birds and all your summer early birds as well. The next slide just shows you another picture there of the cabin of Premium Economy. So it's a great new addition, again available on all our international aircraft. Our 777s and Dreamliners are all have the same product, same consistency across the whole fleet. Look at the next screen, you've got the actual the TV monitor there, and you've got UBS ports and PowerPoint available. It's the largest screen in premium economy, and again, they've got 38 inches of legroom available. Next screen will show you your footrest, and just down below there, you can actually see the PowerPoint, which is an international design as well. So it just goes next to premium economy to economy cabin. So our premium economy cabin has all new design, all new seating. It's laid out again with our 8.9 touchscreen. So it's all digital quality, larger screen again in premium economy, 600 hours of entertainment, and again, all the services are complimentary through the meals to the drinks as well. And next screen will show you what the evening service looks like. So the screens are much bigger now, and again, they've got UBS ports and PowerPoints available in each screen, so it's comfortable in your economy cabin. Next screen, I'll just show you that's the international PowerPoint. That's great, so you don't need to bring the connections on board. It takes everyone's power to recharge. So we'll pop along and just touching on the Wi-Fi. Give you an update. Across North America and trans-border and within Canada, we have Wi-Fi enabled on all our narrow-bodied aircraft, so it's all available, and you can join up online or while they're actually flying. All our international aircraft, the 777s and Dreamliners, will be done this year. So we'll be putting satellite-available connectivity throughout this year, and that will be great for passengers travelling that 14 hours across the Pacific. And the next slide will just have some details about that, showing you there that it's all coming throughout 2017. I might stop along, and I'll just on the screen here, now we've got our premium services. So next few slides, I'm going to talk a little bit about Maple Leaf Lounges and our concierge service. These are extra enhancements for your business class passengers. So on the screen next, we have our concierge service with our dedicated staff. They're actually in their own uniforms. They're around 40 airports worldwide, including Sydney and Brisbane. They're for your business class passengers. When your passengers business class are needing help with tight connections, with baggage carousels, if they're needing car hire, faxing, anything that their airport services, they're actually there available. They have their own offices and they can assist that way as well. Great to know you've got that service for your passengers travelling the premium cabin, and again available both Sydney and Brisbane airports daily. The team are there to assist business passengers. For example, if they arrive into Vancouver and they're continuing and they have a tight connection, they'll meet them at the actual plane and can get them through the airport quite quick as well. Great service, our concierge team who are trained in the concierge services, just like in a hotel as well. The next screen, I'll touch on our Maple Leaf Lounges. They've all been refurbished and updated. They're throughout, of course, North America and Europe. In both Sydney and Brisbane, we use the Air New Zealand's Kooroo Lounges, which are next to our gate. Air New Zealand lounges have been refurbished, and they're actually available right to our business passengers close by to the gate. And of course, that's just been recently refurbished in Melbourne for our Melbourne service coming up in December. Otherwise, within North America, we have the Maple Leaf Lounges again, and they've been all enhanced and refurbished. Our next screen is touch on David Hawkesworth. We follow on to the next screen, which talks a little bit about the new chef program. David Hawkesworth is a famous chef from Vancouver. He's got 3 restaurants, award-winning restaurants, and we've been partnership with him to actually design our business class meals and also our Maple Leaf Lounges menus as well. He actually complements with seasonal produce and the classic fine dining for Canada. So it matches in with our signature wines as well. So that's available again for the business class lounges, Maple Leaf Lounges, as well as the international services in Canada. So having David Hawkesworth is a great complement to our business passengers. The next screen is touching on our mobile services and our aircanada.com. It's all been refreshed and updated. Passengers can either go to Android or Apple, and they can download the app, which allows them to put in their bookings and they can get their notification services. If flights are delayed, electronic boarding passes, just anything services-wise, fantastic to know that we're able to have that available for everybody travelling with Air Canada. Next slide, I'll talk about, it's called our Air Canada Altitude, our frequent flyer program. Part of a bigger program in Canada called Aeroplan, we have recognised our high frequent flyers through a program called Altitude, and they get recognised, and it's free to join, so passengers can go via our website, And then, of course, the more they travel, they can get more points, and they get more complimentary access to lounges, upgrades, things like that as well. And plus, we're part of Star Alliance, so we match into the Gold and Silver program for Star Alliance as well. And you can also put the Star Alliance memberships into our bookings as well, and they'll get points back onto their home programs. As I mentioned earlier, of course, a Velocity program, Virgin Australia, will be joining that throughout later this year. And that's, again, you'll be able to put that into the booking and they can get points back through the Velocity program. The next slide I'll touch on, and we'll go to the next one, Charlie, which is the actual aircraft of Air Canada Rouge. We'll just briefly talk a little bit so you're familiar. You might come across Rouge. You can see there the Maple Leaf again. It's our leisure airline flying Canadians where they like to go on destinations such as down into Cuba and things like that. You might come across if someone's going to Canada and they're flying on somewhere else for second vacation. So you just have a look, you'll see it AC designator operated, and the next screen will show you just a little bit there. We have an economy and a premium cabin, so Premium Rouge it's called. So 2 classes there. So just so you're familiar, also we have Air Canada Express, which flies to smaller provincial towns and cities within Canada on Dash aircraft, so over to Victoria, Portland, Seattle. So you have AC designators for that Air Canada Express as well. So 3 carriers, got mainline Air Canada Express, and Air Canada Rouge. So just the next cabin photo there will just show you what the interior looks like in Premium Rouge. So we'll jump on, and coming close to the end now, so some really important information here. I want to touch on the ETA, the Electronic Travel Authorization for Canada. We're still getting approximately 20 people a day turning up to both Sydney and Brisbane without an ETA. So just want to take particular attention that it is required. Passengers have to go online. It takes about 20 minutes to do. For $7 Canadian, so it's quite good value. It's 5 years. Even if they're transiting Vancouver, continuing on, they have to still have the ETA as well. It's very similar to the ESTA. So passengers have to actually go to the government website, which is linked there. We've had some fraudulent ones. Of course, everyone's always familiar with those, and their passengers paying up to $60 to $200 going on fake sites. The Canadian government has moved that site to the top of Google, so that's helping out people not being fraudulently charged. But please make sure you have got that sort of address down, or you've got that nearby that you can actually then refer back through as well. So $7 Canadian for 6 years. Also, Canadian nationals need a valid Canadian passport to return back. It's another thing that they're getting caught out, that they live here and their passport's expired and they're turning up to the airport without a valid Canadian passport. They won't be allowed to board as well. So go to the government website and get you more details there, and very important information. So I'll skip that slide. We'll go to the next one, which is Star Alliance, just celebrating another anniversary here, 20 years. Air Canada is one of the founding members. There were 5 original airlines started back 20 years ago, which was Lufthansa, United, Thai, Scandinavian, and of course Air Canada. So now we're up to 27 airlines serving over 192 countries. So a big celebration there as well. That's a great picture of Vancouver Airport. So next slide I'll want to look at is for connecting with our sales and social media. We have a Air Canada, of course, on Facebook. You can go on there and you can join up for lots of latest information. Just push like and you can join up. We're soon to launch later this year an Australian Facebook page as well. More exclusivity and deals for Australian agents. Otherwise, we're also on LinkedIn. There's 2 ways. There's a corporate travel agents page as well as the travel agents page. And if you're on Twitter as well. So there's ways to connect and keeping up to date with Air Canada that way. Our next slide, I'm going to just get Charlie to push a couple of these slides as I talk along. They're actually giving you a couple of glimpses into why going to Canada and why connect through Vancouver. We have lots of great synergies with Canadian-friendly businesses, lots of celebrations on this year, of course. A big one coming up 1 July, Canada Day. And looking, we've got great synergies with Australia and Canada. And we have a rock star Prime Minister. He's quite popular, well known around the world. And the next slide will show you a lovely picture of downtown Vancouver. It's a lovely, great shot. So it was only taken about 4 months ago, and lots of snow this year. Vancouver managed to get about 10 times worth of snow coming down downtown, and actually I think they were a little bit over it by the end of it, but as you can see, Grouse Mountain there, only 20 minutes up to go skiing. And 20 minutes downtown. The next slide will show you Vancouver Airport. Lots of wide open spaces, lots of easy to transfer, as I mentioned earlier, with bags going right through, and also 20 minutes downtown by train, so connecting through there from lovely downtown Vancouver. So, brings me to the last slide. So thank you, everyone. I think Charlie's going to open up now for some questions. I appreciate your time this morning. And, yeah, come through and let's have a chat if you've got any questions to share.
Neil, thank you so much. Fantastic presentation. Great update on Air Canada there. So, guys, the floor is open for questions. So I'll just open the chat box. If anybody has any questions, just type them into the chat box and I will ask Neil on your behalf. I was saying to Neil before the meeting that I travelled on Air Canada with my family in March, and it was a fantastic experience. We did the Brisbane flight, so great to be on a brand new Dreamliner. It was pretty exciting and fantastic service, fantastic food. Yeah, they took good care of us, Neil. Thank you.
That's great to hear. Fantastic. Yeah, the Dreamliner out of Brisbane is such a special aircraft.
Yeah, oh, it's amazing. And also, I was going to mention there, I just found out from Neil that it's not only Canada's birthday on the 1st of July, but it's Neil's birthday. Big birthday for you, mate. You're not 150, are you, though, Neil, right?
No, I'm a third of it, actually. A third of the 150 on 1 July. So I'm actually heading off on Saturday. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you.
Canada Day, Neil. That's awesome. Okay, yes. Alison says, hi, Neil. When will the ACVA code share direct services be in place?
Well, they're actually available now on 1 July. That's the domestic services. So our services within Australia got flight numbers on the Virgin flights. So from Adelaide up to Brisbane or Sydney, you can go on your GDS. You'll actually see some of the Virgin flights with an Air Canada flight number. Virgin actually has their flight numbers from LA up into Canada on our aircraft. It'll be another rollout when Virgin put their flight numbers on our actual Trans-Pacific flights. That's still to come, as well as the Velocity program. So it's a rollout program, but certainly the domestic flights in Australia. You can still book Qantas and Jetstar. We're still partners. It's still available. But if you want to book an Air Canada flight number domestically, it's all available there as a 1 June.
Okay, thanks. She said, Anne-Marie says, thanks, Neil. Any idea if the Melbourne flights will be extended past February?
As I mentioned, thank you for the good question. We really, really want that to happen. We actually, when Brisbane first started, it was over a year ago now, back in early June, it was only 3 times a week, and because of the great support from Queensland agents, we were able to turn that very quickly with about 4 months of selling into a daily flight. So if we do well and we get all the support from the industry, from you guys, we can turn that flight into a daily out of Melbourne. Certainly as a plan, we'd love to do it. We just need to now see how it works out over those 2 months. So give it all the support you can. It's 4 times a week up until the 4th of February, and all goes, system goes. We can take it out to daily. That would be wonderful to have 3 daily flights from Australia straight through to Canada.
Oh, yeah, that would be super exciting. So, yeah, like Neil says, support the new flights, and he'll get some more. So that's great news. And great for the ski season as well, of course. That's December through February for the school holidays.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All the winter early birds are out now, so you can book those through your wholesalers for this next coming season, starting in December, right through to sometimes till May. Get in now because, of course, a lot of people go in Canada skiing now because the dollar's on parity, so you want to get in early and book those packages. And again, you've got the services out of Melbourne to support that as well.
Great, thank you. No other questions, so we'll sign off there. Neil and I will just hang on the line if anybody does have any further questions. But otherwise, thank you everybody so much for joining us. I hope the slides kept up with Neil's request.
I'm sure you were great, Charlie. Thank you.
Good co-pilot today.
Good co-pilot, that's it.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.